Hey there, welcome back to Undercover Mysteries. Today, we've got two intense diving stories that will keep you on edge. The first dive, a sudden disaster no one expected. But the second one is even more chilling, a diver trapped by strong currents, caught in the rocks with no way out. How did it all go so wrong? Let's dive in and find out. On November 24, 2019, 4 Chinese cave divers landed in the United States. They aimed to explore Florida's Manatee Springs underwater caves. The team included 2 skilled divers and 2 newcomers. Wang, a cave diving teacher with over 500 hours of experience, led the group. Chen, his diving buddy, had 100 hours of practice. Ming and Fu, a married couple, were less experienced with only 11 hours each. Despite their different skill levels, they were eager to dive together. Their excitement soon faced a tough test. Wang had dived in Manatee Springs before, but years had passed since his last visit. The environment had changed a lot. Heavy rains in the days before their dive had made the currents stronger. Some underwater tunnels had also collapsed, making certain areas dangerous. Sadly, Wang didn't know about these changes, which would soon cause big problems for the group. Manatee Springs has 2 main entry points for cave divers. The spring itself bubbled strongly that day due to the powerful current below. The second entrance, called the Catfish Hotel dive site, looked calmer. It had a peaceful layer of duckweed on top and clearer, quieter waters underneath. Wang and Chen, being more experienced, decided to enter through the Catfish Hotel first to check the conditions. Using advanced gear like rebreathers and underwater scooters, Wang and Chen went down into the spring to check the path ahead. They planned to reach Fredman Sink, a deep cave in the Manatee Spring system. They would assess the conditions and then come back to guide Ming and Fu through the tunnels. As they went deeper, Wang and Chen found the water wasn't very clear, but it wasn't bad enough to turn back. They kept going, and after about 35 minutes of careful swimming, they reached a depth of 1,600 feet where Fredman's Sink was. They decided that while things weren't perfect, the dive was still safe enough for Ming and Fu to follow. Feeling sure of themselves, Wang and Chen started to swim back up to meet the couple waiting at the surface. Ming and Fu jumped in with basic gear, unlike their skilled friends. They swam down and met Wang and Chen 500 feet below. After checking oxygen, all 4 went deeper together, but things got scary fast. Rain had filled a nearby water source, making the cave currents stronger. As they swam, tunnels behind them fell apart, blocking their way back. The strong water stirred up dirt, making it hard to see. Their careful dive turned dangerous quickly. The group pushed on, fighting the strong current. Wang, leading them, got slammed into a rock wall. He couldn't move, and his air supply broke. He tried to push off, but it only made things worse. Ming saw Wang's trouble and waved to Fu. They tried to swim to Wang, but the water was too strong. They couldn't move forward, no matter how hard they tried. Chen got stuck too. The current pulled him into a big hole in the cave floor. Now, both Wang and Chen were in danger. Wang, still gasping for air, broke free for a moment and saw Chen. He swam over and tried to pull Chen out, but Chen was stuck tight, and Wang had to let go to save himself. Luckily, the current changed and pushed Wang up. After some scary moments, he made it to safety. Soon after, the water pushed Chen and Fu up too. But Ming wasn't so lucky. The current got even stronger, pulling Ming deeper into the cave. She fought hard, kicking and swimming with all her might. But the water was too powerful. It dragged her through twisting tunnels, farther from the others. Suddenly, the water yanked her into a narrow side cavern. The force slammed her against the wall, trapping her. She fought hard to break free, but the water overpowered her. Each attempt to escape drained her energy. Rocks and debris piled up around her, making things worse. Ming's air supply ran low fast. The panic made her breathe quicker, using up oxygen even faster. Pinned down and running out of air, her chances of survival shrank by the second. Fu reached the surface safely, but noticed Ming was missing. Terrified, he raced to get help. Wang, knowing Ming was in danger, didn't wait. He dove back in, desperate to save her, but the current had grown stronger. It pushed him back each time he tried to dive. After many failed attempts, Wang had to give up. He hoped the rescue team would arrive soon. An ambulance came minutes later. They took Chen, who got hurt during the dive, to the hospital. Still no sign of Ming. Fu stood on the shore, knowing his wife was trapped in the cave. Her air tank was almost empty. Time was running out. The rescue team finally arrived. They dove in right away, but struggled against the fierce current. Despite their best efforts, they couldn't reach Ming. After 2 failed tries, they had to stop for the night. They hoped the current would calm down by morning. On Monday, the recovery team tried again. This time, they found Ming's body. Getting her out was tough. The rocks and debris that trapped her made it hard to free her. After hours of work, they finally removed the debris and brought her to the surface. Ming's death showed how dangerous cave diving can be. The unpredictable conditions and some divers' lack of experience turned a simple exploration into a tragedy. Despite everyone's best efforts, Ming couldn't escape the powerful current that took her life. Fu was devastated by Ming's loss. He struggled to cope with the sudden absence of his wife and diving partner. Wang and Chen, though physically recovered, carried the emotional scars of that fateful dive. They felt guilty for not being able to save Ming. The local authorities launched an investigation into the incident. They looked at the dive site safety regulations and the group's preparation. The findings led to stricter rules for cave diving in the area. Deep in the Dominican Republic, about 100 miles from Santo Domingo, you'll find Ludo Lagoon. This natural gem looks peaceful at first glance. Visitors can swim in its clear freshwater, jump off rocks, or zoom across on a zip line. It calls out to thrill seekers, mixing beauty with excitement. But like many stunning natural spots, Ludo Lagoon hides secrets beneath its calm surface. Under the water lies a hidden world of caves. This underwater maze lures explorers, but can turn deadly fast. Even skilled divers have lost their lives here. Locals take pride in their natural wonder, but warn visitors about its dangers. Ludo's beauty can't be denied, but neither can its deadly potential. Top divers who've tackled the world's toughest waters speak of Ludo with awe and caution. Unlike other risky dive spots, Ludo keeps divers guessing. Currents change without warning, silt clouds vision in moments, and the complex caves can confuse even the best. For those brave enough to dive in, Ludo Lagoon becomes a fight for survival. Our story starts with 2 Italian adventurers, Carlos Barbieri and Giovanni Basso. These friends knew diving well, having explored challenging waters from deep Mediterranean reefs to sunken Baltic ships. Their bravery and skills made them famous among divers. Many successful dives left them feeling invincible. But they lacked one crucial thing: official cave diving certification. Carlos worked as a marine biologist, turning his love for the ocean into an exciting career. Giovanni, once a competitive swimmer, found diving as a new way to challenge himself in the water. Together, they'd faced many underwater adventures, always coming out safe. To them, Ludo Lagoon seemed like just another thrilling challenge to conquer. As they prepared for their Ludo dive, excitement filled the air. They checked their gear, ran through their plans, and felt the rush of anticipation. Little did they know, this dive would test them like never before. The calm surface of Ludo Lagoon hid the intense challenge waiting below. Their skills, teamwork, and survival instincts would soon face the ultimate test in the dark, twisting caves beneath the peaceful waters. An Italian diving instructor warned them about the lagoon's dangers before their dive. He urged them to reconsider without proper cave diving training. Basso brushed off the advice, saying, "There's nothing you can teach me that I don't already know." This showed how dangerously they underestimated the risks ahead. With their regular diving gear, but not fully prepared for cave diving, Barbieri and Basso stood ready to face challenges they never expected. The lagoon looked calm and inviting on top, but danger lurked below. Warning signs and local advice lined the waters, urging caution. But Barbieri and Basso saw these warnings as obstacles to their excitement, not the life-saving advice they were. Driven by adventure and overconfidence, they ignored the signs and dove into Ludo Lagoon's unknown depths. They entered the water at 11:45 a.m. that February morning. Sunlight quickly faded as they went deeper into the lagoon. The familiar world of air and light gave way to the quiet, eerie darkness of the caves. At first, they easily moved through wide tunnels, even finding a rare air pocket chamber. But as they went on, the passages got narrower, forcing them to squeeze through tight spaces. Each turn took them deeper into the maze, further from the safety of the surface and light. They didn't realize they were getting closer to disaster with every moment. Their confident dive was turning into a nightmare. The calm cave entrance led to dangerous narrow corridors and shrinking air supplies. The welcoming environment became hostile, with each turn bringing a new obstacle. Their boldness faded, replaced by growing unease. Tragedy struck in a tight part of the cave. One diver got tangled in the guideline, a crucial safety tool in cave diving. Divers usually unspool this line behind them to find their way back. But here, the entanglement turned this safety measure into a deadly trap. Unable to free themselves, they broke the line, cutting off their only link to the outside world. Now, lost in the dark maze of caves, their situation became even more dangerous. The once peaceful lagoon had turned into a treacherous trap. The divers' confidence crumbled as they faced the harsh reality of their situation. Every breath used up precious air, and every wrong turn could lead them deeper into trouble. The cave's darkness seemed to close in, making it hard to think clearly or find a way out. Panic started to set in as they realized the gravity of their mistake. The cave's twists and turns, once exciting challenges, now felt like a closing noose. They struggled to keep calm, knowing that panic would only make things worse. But with each passing minute, their chances of survival grew slimmer. Their dive computers beeped warnings about low air and dangerous depths. These alarms, usually just reminders, now sounded like countdown timers to disaster. The cave's silence was broken only by their rapid breathing and the occasional ping of their equipment. The weight of their decision to ignore warnings pressed down on them like the water above. In the pitch-black water, they fumbled for any familiar landmark or sign of the way out. But the broken guideline left them with no reliable path to follow. They were truly lost, trapped in a liquid maze with time and air running out. The thrill of adventure had given way to the stark reality of survival. Now, deep in Ludo Lagoon's unforgiving caves, Barbieri and Basso faced their greatest challenge yet. The next events remain unclear, with different ideas about what happened. Some think one diver panicked as air ran low, breaking the guideline. Others believe they followed an old jump line, leading them astray. Whatever occurred, their lack of proper training and gear set them on a deadly path. As daylight faded, worry grew for the missing divers. By nightfall, a full emergency unfolded. Experienced divers and rescuers, including Philip Lehman and Angel Compre, quickly mobilized. Lehman, vice president of the Dominican Republic's Speleological Society, and Compre knew Ludo Lagoon's dangers well, but faced a tough challenge. The rescue team dove into murky waters, hitting silt stirred up by the divers. This reduced visibility to almost zero, making it hard to see ahead. But the disturbed silt also hinted at the divers' recent presence and their struggle below. Each silt cloud told a silent story of desperation and danger. The broken guideline made the rescue even harder, cutting off their path back. Rescuers had to navigate without a clear guide, relying on instinct and experience. The local diving community waited anxiously for news, but as time passed, the rescue mission turned into a grim recovery operation. Days went by, and hopes of finding Barbieri and Basso alive dimmed. The once exciting lagoon became a place of tragedy. Eventually, cave diving experts Ed Sorensen and Mike Young joined the recovery effort. At first, Dominican authorities resisted due to high risks, but after talks, they got 8 days to complete the task. Ed Sorensen, known for tackling tough cave environments, led the mission. Using special methods like briefly stopping breathing to avoid stirring silt, Sorensen carefully searched the caves. After days of looking, he found Carlos Barbieri's body wedged in a narrow side passage. The recovery was tricky and needed a special harness to remove Barbieri from the tight space. The lagoon's peaceful surface hid its deadly nature. The rescue team faced extreme challenges, battling poor visibility, complex cave systems, and the constant threat of getting lost or running out of air. Their efforts highlighted the risks of cave diving and the importance of proper training and equipment. The recovery of Barbieri's body brought some closure, but also deepened the sense of loss. The search for Basso continued, with rescuers determined to bring both divers home. The lagoon, once a symbol of natural beauty, now stood as a somber reminder of the price of underestimating nature's dangers. The next day, Sorensen pressed on, discovering Giovanni Basso's body deep in the cave's crevice. This recovery, equally tough, took hours of careful work but needed no extra help. Ludo Lagoon's tragedy shows the real dangers of diving in treacherous underwater caves. Carlos Barbieri and Giovanni Basso, despite their vast experience, fell prey to a deadly mix of overconfidence and poor training. Their tale serves as a powerful warning, stressing the need to respect nature and know human limits. For thrill seekers, this story hammers home key points. Always dive within your skill level, never underestimate your surroundings, and put safety first. Nature's beauty matches its unpredictability, and those exploring its depths must do so with care and respect. This story packs a punch, revealing both the beauty and dangers of diving. Our channel dives deep into more tales of wonder, caution, and respect for the sea's mysteries. We share gripping accounts that showcase nature's raw power and the thin line between adventure and disaster. Join us for more intense, eye-opening stories from the underwater world.